that phrase, you won't be mad about it. You won't be mad. What else could we use this with? Look, you're struggling to implement a budget in your finances. Think about a year from now, how you're gonna feel because you went ahead and fought through that friction to get that budget implemented. And for years, you've never had money when an emergency popped up. And then suddenly you got $500 sitting in the bank when, I don't know, the tire pops on your car and you need to go get a new tire. Like, you're like, man, I've got the money. Why? Because I fought through the inertia of change to start budgeting. Same thing with a relationship. You're not gonna be mad that if in a year from now you realize that you and your spouse fight a lot less, or you and your significant other fight a lot less, because instead of focusing so much on their behavior, you start focusing more on your own behavior. So every time you get that urge to get mad about something they're doing, you start to turn the lens on yourself and ask yourself, what are you doing? What are you doing to allow your emotional state to get to such a place where now you're pissed off and angry about what they're doing, which you can't control, right? You can control your actions. Like, you're not going to be mad if a year from now, because you fought for that self-awareness, that now, man, we don't fight as much. Well, why? Because I'm not spending all my time trying to think about and control somebody else's behavior, because now I'm focused on my own behavior. You're not going to be mad about it. So, in all these positive changes that we want to experience, inertia of change. So you got to think about, are you going to be upset that you put forth the effort to get to a better version of yourself? Probably not, right? And so I know it can almost feel like sometimes we're missing out if we go ahead and exert ourselves in a certain way that we know is going to be challenging. Like, man, like, I mean, for me, the specific thing I think about is when I fight the urge to overindulge in sugar, there's a part of me that feels like I'm missing out on the high that I get from it. Like, damn, man, I'm gonna miss out on the high. But the reality is if I want to eat a whole box or a whole package of Oreos today, and I decide no, Travis, you're not gonna go get the Oreos, and you're not gonna sit here and eat a whole package of Oreos. Tomorrow, I am not gonna be pissed off that I struggled to fight that urge and fight that craving. Assuming I win that battle, I'm not gonna be mad that I fought it, right? Now here's the other thing. What if I lose the battle? What if I fight it all day and then at 7 p.m. I break? The same thing applies. In my experience, the same thing applies. I'm not going to be mad that I fought for as long as I could and then I cracked. Because again, inertia of change, friction, it's going to be there. That's going to be a part of the process. What I do think you'll be mad about is if you don't fight. And if you look back and you realize, like, I've never really put up a serious battle to change in any real way. And I've talked about this before. I think this is where bitterness comes from. This is where people get to their 30s and their 40s and they're real bitter about life and frustrated with life, is because you're not doing any work on you. Life is never going to be ideal. There are always going to be problems. I'm grateful for problems now, because problems give me something to write about. They give me something to talk about on this podcast. Life is going to always be filled with problems. You can't change that. What you can change is you. And I just can't fathom that you're going to get to a place in life and be sad that you put forth effort to make yourself better. And more often than not, you're going to get better because you're engaged in the fight.